BoogeyMan band coming round the bend. Is BoogeyMan band? Is BoogeyMan band?
Greetings, my fellow Fright Fiends. Thanks so much for stopping by the Horror Zone channel. I hope everyone's doing well. Thank you so much for your patience with me doing another video. But I am working on getting some more content going here on the channel. I'm excited to be back. I'm excited to have some downtime. Again, June was a very, very bad month for me. I don't want to go into specifics about it now. Maybe I'll talk about it later in an upcoming video. But for right now, I'm just happy to be back here on the Horror Zone channel, here in the Horror Zone Lounge, which you might notice the lighting is a little bit different. The normal string lights that I have over here burned out. I decided to put some Halloween lights in here. My wife might be mad because they are some of the lights we usually put around the house during Halloween, but I'll buy some other ones for that. But I just wanted to do something a little different and change the room up a little bit. I've had the same kind of lights in here for a long time. These are LED lights, so they're going to last, which is great. But today, what I'm here to talk about is, you could call it the 28 Days saga, because you have 3 films. You have 28 Days Later, 28 Weeks Later, and 28 Years Later, which just came out in June. I finally got to go see 28 Years Later back July 2nd. I was a little late to the game. It had already been out for a couple of weeks. I heard mixed about it, but I've never been the biggest fan of this franchise. I've never really talked about it here on this channel. I do have the first 2 films on Blu-ray. I had watched them once, and that was it. So after seeing 28 Weeks Later, I thought, you know, it'd be kind of cool is to watch all of them. So seeing the new film and then watching these 2, I thought I'd sort of give a ranking of this franchise. So people have seen the film. It's been out for almost a month. Plot of it is a group of survivors of the rage virus live on a small island. When one of the group leaves the island on a mission into the mainland, he discovers secrets, wonders, and horrors that have mutated not only infected but other survivors. And of course, the movie stars Jodie Comer as Isla, Aaron Taylor Johnson as Jamie, Ralph Fiennes as Dr. Kelson, and Alfie Williams as Spike. And the movie was written by Alex Garland and directed by Danny Boyle. Understand the criticisms. I've kind of looked into them a little bit more since I've seen the film, because I didn't want anything to be spoiled for me. It is different. It is very different from the other 2 films with regards to the mutated, infected, zombies, whatever you want to call them. There are some changes in this, and it is very different. And some people, I can understand being turned off by it. I was kind of refreshed by it. I like Aaron Taylor Johnson. He's somebody that's really grown on me. I'm a huge fan of Ralph Fiennes. I love him. And I just love that you kind of went into this film thinking it was going to be one way, and it was completely different. There were some sentimental moments in it that I wasn't expected. I love how it kind of started what you would expect from a movie like this, and how it kind of segued into something else. And I think everybody in the cast did a great job, and I really enjoyed it. And I walked out very satisfied, and I want to watch it again. I mean, there was some great visuals in this. It was all practical from what I could see. Most of the effects in it were very practical. There were some really gnarly visual effects, some gnarly gore effects. I really liked what they did, and yeah, there's some shocking moments in it for sure. But there was a heart to it, especially with this family. But if I had to rank these films, what I did after watching it was I watched both of these again. I've only watched each one twice, seen the new one once. If I had to rank them, I watched 28 Days Later again, and I enjoyed it more than I did the first time, because, again, since I watched it the first time, I've gotten into zombie films or films about the undead or these things that are coming back. You know, again, it's done differently, of course, but movies like the Dawn of the Dead remake, The Walking Dead, getting more into Romero films, seeing movies like Land of the Dead in the theater, you know, that's all happened since I saw 28 Days Later for the first time. And so I got more enjoyment out of it. I still think, for me, it's like it suffers at one point, and it's like the latter half of the film. It's like I feel like the first 2 acts are great, and the last act, for me, for some reason, it just doesn't hit for me. I don't know why. I think the beginning of it is great, just the way that it sort of sets up the rage virus, establishes where this aggression kind of virus comes from at the beginning of the film. And I know it's not, you know, technically, I mean, Danny Boyle said it wasn't a zombie movie, but it did reinvigorate the genre. Yeah, I mean, I think visually it looks great. It's not a bad film at all, but for some reason it's just one that I'm not really that crazy about. I might have to watch it a few more times. My least favorite in this trilogy of films is going to be the original 28 Days Later. My number 2 in the series is going to be the new film, 28 Years Later. I actually really enjoyed it. I think the family dynamic is what really endeared me to the characters in that of Jamie and Spike and Isla. This island community, and just, you know, just how it talks about how it was formed and things like that, and you know, how they go and get resources. It was very interesting. And it's a tidal island connected by a fortified causeway, and that's how they get to the mainland. And then you have Jamie and Spike, who's only 12 years old, going to the mainland for kind of like this hunting ritual, and that's kind of what sets off the chain of events of the film. But you also know that the mom, Isla, is sick, and you don't know why she's sick. So there's that going on. The infected are very different, very, very different in this film, and I know it's kind of shocking to some people. It doesn't bother me, but it was interesting to see how they've evolved in nearly 3 decades, and I thought that was some interesting moments in the film. I think Anthony Dodd Mantle, the cinematographer, and Danny Boyle just did a great job of capturing these haunted landscapes. It's just a beautiful, beautiful area, even though it's, you know, you have these rage virus, you know, kind of offspring from that early mutation. It's some haunting images that really just brought me into this world, and I was, you know, just like I said, I was just on this ride, not with any expectations, because I had such vague memories of watching the first 2. And again, I really enjoyed the film, and I really think it did something different, which is what I want to see. I don't want to see the same movies over and over again. But yeah, I really enjoyed it, and I can't wait to pick it up and add it to my collection. My favorite, after rewatching it, I just knew it because there are so many actors in it that I just truly admire. 28 Weeks Later is going to be my favorite in this franchise, and I'm just a huge fan of Jeremy Renner. I love Rose Byrne. I love Harold Perrineau. I'm also a big fan of Imogen Poots. I think that's how you say her. I've heard Imogen Poots. I've always said Imogen Poots. The first thing I was introduced to her, besides this film, the first thing I ever saw her in was this film, but I really took notice of her in the Fright Night remake that came out in 2011, where she starred as Amy alongside the late Anton Yelchin as Charlie Brewster and Colin Farrell as Jerry. I also love Robert Carlyle. I've seen him in pretty much everything I've seen him in I loved, and that opening for this film is what really got me into it. It just grabs you by the throat, and it's so harrowing and so scary, and just that's what set me off, and that's what sort of brought me back into it. I just love the way it looks, and I love what kind of sets off the chain of events, not to ruin things for people, but it's harrowing, and this is the kind of movie with this type of theme, even though I know it's a rage virus, but it is a zombie movie in my opinion. For me, that's what it reminds me of, and that's why I think this one I got into a lot more, even though I was really excited about something different with 28 Years Later. Watching this one just sort of, like I said, it kicked it off in high gear. I love the characters. I love, again, the family dynamic with, you know, Don and his kids, and just what has happened, sort of the skeleton in his closet that kind of kicked off the movie. And then you have the military, where you have Harold Perrineau as Flynn, who's a military helicopter pilot. You have Jeremy Renner as Doyle, who's a Delta Force sniper. You also have the amazing Idris Elba as Stone, who's the U.S. general overseeing everything. And then you have the amazing Rose Byrne as Scarlett, who's a medical officer. I just love how this film plays out. Eerie. There's some great moments in it. Very scary moments. And it wasn't directed by Danny Boyle, and it wasn't written by Alex Garland, but I like it the best out of all of them. And I think it comes down to the cast. They're just actors that I really appreciate and have grown to love and respect even more over the years. And I would revisit the most out of the 3. So 28 Weeks Later is my favorite of the 28 Days Later franchise. So that's going to be it, my fellow fiends. I've been wanting to do this video for a while, and I appreciate everybody's patience with me. I know it's been a long time. Getting back on the horse, I got stuff I want to talk about. My book, I really am excited to talk about. My life in the lot. Things are happening. I'm in the process of doing some stuff. I just got my last art piece from the amazing Mark Beer, who's done the artwork for the entire book. And I really just want people to see this book. I want to get it out there. It took me 3 years to write it. I also have 4 quiet little tribute of Salem's Lot videos that I'm working on. One on Marie Windsor, who played Eva Miller. One on Ned Wilson, who played Henry Glick. One on Barbara Babcock, who played June Petrie. And then the final one will be on James Gallery, who played Father Callahan. So I'm working on all of those. Lots of stuff coming. I got some collectibles on the way, so there's going to be a lot more stuff showcasing on the Horror Zone channel. I'm getting back to, what I love, and I feel like I have a lot more to share with everyone. Hopefully the channel continues to grow. If you guys do want to support me, I do have a GoFundMe that I opened last year when I was having some financial difficulties. I opened it in October of last year. The link is down below if you guys want to contribute to the channel. I've had some people say they want to contribute or send me things. You can help me if you want, but don't feel like you have to. I do this for free. I do this for fun. It is my outlet. It is my therapy. And again, I really appreciate you all. So I hope everyone's doing well, and I'll talk to you again real soon. Appreciate you all. Take it easy. Stay scared as always.